All right, welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. Johnny, they did it to us again. This is another banger of a card. Um, I don't know. It took me a little bit to get into breaking this one down. I was not excited for it. What are your thoughts going into this one?
Yeah, decent card last week. Made some good money.
Yeah.
But yeah, this card is rough, man. I'm like, usually you go into it, you're like looking forward to like at least on a crappy card, you're looking forward to like two or three fights, and on this one, I'm struggling to find one. It's rough.
Yeah. Um, the only thing I will say is the way the odds are, um, if we do get this one right, there is potential to make some money. There's not a lot of big favorites here. Um, and I think we may see some finishes. There's definitely some finish opportunities here, so it should be fun. But yeah, it's a tough card. So we'll try to break it down the best we can, and if we come out on the winning end, it's a great card. However, it plays out.
Hopefully, the winning end.
Yes, sir.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we'll jump into the first fight here. A fight that I absolutely
Love.
am not looking forward to at all. We've got Muhammad Usman taking on Thomas Peterson. It's a heavyweight bout. Peterson was pretty disappointing in his debut. Usman, he's a guy that I've been trying to fade him for a while now, but he tends to win more often than not. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, sloppy, ugly, heavyweight fight. Usman's a guy is just I don't think he's very good, but he's fighting these lower level guys and winning low volume decisions. Pretty much just doing what he has to do against these crappy guys he's fighting and squeaking out a decision. Uh, Peterson, I mean, his debut didn't look too good. I mean, I thought he would look better. I thought he would actually win that fight, but Pogues was somehow he just beat him everywhere. I don't know how that happened. So that tells you where this guy's at. I mean, he does come forward. I mean, if he can get takedowns here, I can see him having success against Usman because I don't know if his takedown defense is the greatest, but I have no idea here. Um, this was a tough one for me. Odds came down a little bit. I think Usman was a bigger favorite earlier in the week.
Yeah.
I kind of, I mean, I'm leaning kind of Peterson to maybe just with forward pressure and just activity and maybe getting a takedown because I think if he gets a takedown, I don't know if Usman can get back up. So maybe he gets a takedown. I don't know. It's low level heavy. I could see a split here also as well. I could see, Peterson getting takedowns, not doing very much, and Usman landing maybe a couple of big shots on the feet. Maybe that swings around. I could see this being a split. It's a sloppy heavyweight fight. I got to pick the dog here in this spot.
Yeah, I agree, man. Usman, his striking, it's looked a little bit better. Recently, his combinations are a little bit better, but it's still not great. And like you said, if Peterson does get the takedowns, he does have good top control. He does have good ground and pound. I don't think Usman is a guy that's going to come from behind. I think if he's getting taken down, his cardio is going to go out the window.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee that Peterson can get him down. It's kind of similar to the Pokes fight. Like he got Pokes down at the end of the first round. I thought, okay, all he has to do is that one more time, and the fight's over. And he never did it again. So we could see a situation like that. But I think both guys are not very good. If Peterson does get the wrestling going, I think he wins. I don't think Usman's cardio is great. Yeah, and it's low level heavyweight MMA. yeah, I'll roll with the dog here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, another thing is if Peterson can get takedown and Usman is trying to get back up, that'll definitely zap his energy. And
Yeah, that's my thought. Like,
yeah,
I think if it's even, if he's not getting the takedowns, I think Usman could win on the feet. But yeah, I think a takedown or two is really gonna zap the energy of Usman, and that's really all it is. Not gonna put a big bet on this one, but
no,
I think if I'm gonna put money down, I'm gonna put it on the dog here.
yeah.
All right, our next fight is a little bit more competitive, a little bit more interesting. Got a women's flyweight bout between Luana Carolina and Lucy Pudilova. Both pretty good strikers. Pudilova's been grappling a little bit more as of late. Carolina's takedown defense is pretty solid. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, the last few fights, Carolina, I mean, she's looked pretty good in her last couple of fights. Yeah, she looks good, decent striking. She does have some good power for this weight class. Good striking. I think her her takedown defense is a little iffy. I think, but I mean, she does good in like getting reversals and getting if she gets on a good top control when she does reverse it and get on top. Pudilova, her striking's okay, but her game plan here is, I think, definitely going to be to wrestle. But I don't know. I don't know if she can get those takedowns. I don't know about her cardio. She seems to tire kind of later in the fights. Yeah, I'm going to side with Carolina here to be the more effective striker, land more significant shots on the feet, maybe get a reversal or a takedown and get some top control. Yeah, I like Carolina here.
Yeah, I am on Pudilova here. Not super confident. I think the striking's pretty close on the feet. I think if Pudilova does get the wrestling going, I think she could have an advantage there. The problem is she doesn't really land a ton of damage when she does land the takedowns. But I kind of just see this as a close fight. I think it's going to be pretty back and forth. Who knows what the judges are going to see. Pudilova was a slight dog when I broke the fight down. I think she still is, I would assume. But yeah, not a lot of confidence in this one. I do think it probably goes long, so I will probably be betting the over, at least over 1.5, just to get a little bit of a better price. But yeah, not too much on this fight that I'm really
with Pudilova, like in the Edwards fight, she landed takedown. She probably won that fight, but when she had the takedown, she did literally like no damage. And
yeah,
I thought she won the fight, but I mean, every time they got to the feet, I mean, Edwards was piecing her. She didn't really have too much coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I thought she could have
similar.
Yeah, I thought she could have won that decision. Close fight. I could see this being a very similar situation. Maybe, possibly, she learns from that. Hey, when I get the fight to the ground, I have to land damage. But yeah, again, like I said, I like Pudilova here. Not overly confident. I do think if she does get the grappling going, she can. That could be her path. But yeah, it's a close fight for sure. All right, our next fight is in the lightweight division. We have Loik Rajabov taking on Trey Ogden. Loik, good power, pretty good wrestling, doesn't seem to have much of a gas tank, does take a lot of damage. Trey Ogden seems to have a pretty decent fight IQ, strong wrestling, good top game. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Loik he's been around a while. He's fought in the PFL. Now he's here in UFC. Got a nice knockout in round 3 against El Sawadi in his last fight. Yeah, I mean, good power in his hands, good striking, good wrestling, good all around. gas tank is kind of questionable when it goes, even though he did get a round 3 finish last fight. I mean, even in other fights, his cardio looks kind of questionable, but he seems to be able to push through. And Ogden, I like Ogden as a coach. I mean, he's a good game planner, smart, good fight IQ. I mean, not really, doesn't really have it as, I guess, I don't know where he's really good at when he's in the octagon. I mean, his striking, I guess, is decent. I mean, he kind of just tries you to get it to fight his game plan, like the Zell Huber fight, and he tried to do the same thing against Bahamondes, that didn't really work out there. Initially earlier in the week, I thought I would be on Ogden at like plus 125. I thought that would be the play, but now it's come down a little bit. It's like a pick 'em. I think I'm gonna go with Rajabov here to probably knock him out in round 2.
Okay. I don't mind that. So we'll be on the opposite side here as well. I do understand the knockout prop. That was my biggest thing. I like Ogden. I think if he forces the grappling, he can wear on Rajabov. That's probably the key for him to win this fight. The fear, obviously, is the power. I think Rajabov could probably catch him with something. I would not be shocked. But I'm banking on Ogden forcing the grappling, wearing on the gas tank, and then just kind of controlling as the fight goes long. I know there's danger for sure. Obviously, if Loic wins, I do think it's probably by knockout. I think he catches him at some point. I would think it's probably earlier in the fight. But yeah, I'm rolling with Ogden to get the grappling going, wear on the gas tank, keep it kind of in tight in the clinch, and get the job done. Again, another close fight, but that's where I'm at on this one.
Yeah, it's super close fight. Like I said earlier in the week, at the plus money, I thought Ogden might be a look, but it's come in a little bit and pick them.
Yeah.
I think I gotta.
It's close.
Like
you said, round 2 knockout. That probably pays pretty well.
I'll probably have a little sprinkle on the 1-2 knockout.
Yeah, I think that's more than live. And I'm obviously going the other way. I'm hoping to burn out the cardio a little bit, but yeah, close fight.
Then there's a lot of times where Ogden doesn't really do much in there, and that's what's concerning.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
I get it. That'll be a good one to watch. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, maybe a good live betting opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's probably going to be a good live opportunity here for sure. All right, our next fight is women's flyweight. We've got Miranda Maverick taking on Diana Barbosa. Maverick was scheduled to fight Tracy Cortez. Obviously, we saw Cortez fight Rose last week. So short notice for Barbosa here. Pretty sizable favorite here in Maverick. We've seen her fail as a big favorite before, but I think against a bit of a tougher opponent in Jasdavicius. What are your thoughts here? Yeah,
this is an interesting one. Barbosa coming in on short notice. I don't know. I think she has some decent skills. She's got good jiu-jitsu, good striking. Good grappling. It's just a question for me is that cardio. She looked absolutely dead in the 3rd round in her last fight. Coming in on short notice, Maverick, she's been around. She's on a little run, 2-fight winning streak. initially I thought of maybe taking a plus 3.5 with Barbosa because maybe she could steal round one and then Maverick takes over the fight. That was an interesting look for me. Maybe like a plus 3.5. Yeah, but ultimately, I think this is probably like a Maverick round three or decision, probably. Most likely just the Maverick decision. Yeah, I think Maverick gets the job done on a short notice against a short notice opponent. Even though I think she's skilled and she has room to grow, Barbosa. So I just think Maverick right now, full camp. She's been training for this fight. I think she'll be ready to go. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Maverick.
I agree. Maverick being the one on the full camp, she was training for a pretty high level opponent. Cardio could definitely come into play. The boys in the chat, Gerardo, Keg, they're leaning 2-3 or decision, which, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I see it. I think Barbosa could have a solid first round. I think she could come out, looking for the kill.
Yeah,
She could win the first round, like you said.
because she's got skills. She's got good skills, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
cardio, we'll see, especially coming on short notice. Not great for somebody whose cardio is already in question.
Yeah.
But I can see this fight going all 3 rounds. Maverick's not
Yeah.
necessarily a finisher. She has finished fights in the UFC, but a lot of times her fights are a lot closer than you would expect. So
Yeah.
Barbosa has a good first round. Maverick takes over the rest of the way. 29-28 decision. I could see that.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. That's why the plus 3.5 kind of interests me because I think Barbosa probably has a good round one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, I do think Maverick wins this fight. I think she's a decent parlay piece.
Yeah. Maybe a good live spot if Barbosa takes that round one and you can get on Maverick like at a pick 'em.
Especially if she loses the first round, that would be ideal live spot. But yeah, Maverick, we're all on Maverick, and yeah, potentially live, and maybe late finish, but I think Maverick down the stretch. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have Brian Kelleher taking on Mini Darren Till, Cody Gibson. Kelleher, he's got some power. He's got a good guillotine. He's had some rough times. He's coming off a knockout. He's had some injuries. Gibson, high volume guy. Haven't really seen a ton of him. But, solid fighter. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, both of these guys suck. Kelleher's, I think Kelleher's probably washed. I mean, ever since he came back from that, he had like a back surgery and like a neck fusion. Like, I mean, the guy is just he's 3 straight first round finishes. I mean, I don't know how much he has left in the tank here. Yeah, and then but Gibson, I mean, Gibson 1-5 in the UFC in his second stint. He got another shot because I guess he had a good fight with Katona, so they thought they'd given him another shot, but it hasn't worked out for him. I mean, this fight is just, I don't know where to go here. Gibson, a minus like 260, 270 favorite. Like, I can't use that in a parlay. I can't find any value here in anything. I mean, Kelleher, we don't know the durability. We have real question marks about the durability of Kelleher and where he's at in his career, I mean, but the thing is, I don't see Cody Gibson having the fucking skills or power to put this guy away. So it's like, I have no idea. I guess I'm going to lean Gibson to be the less washed and squeak out a decision. But, I mean, this one is just,
Yeah. I like Gibson too, but I think it's more so I just don't think Kelleher has too much left in the tank. He's been through, he's been through some wars. He's had a lot of injuries. The neck injury stuff, that's never fun. It's never easy to come back from. He's getting older. Gibson puts up good volume. We didn't see it as much in the last fight against Miles Johns, but Miles Johns is a tough out, so I can't really hold that against him too much. Yeah, I mean, Gibson on the money line, I would not put him in a parlay. There's no way you can trust the guy.
No. Maybe a decision prop. I mean,
yeah, I could see the fight going long. I mean, but I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Kelleher brings to the table. Coming off that knockout against Cody Garbrandt, I don't know. It's tough. This is a fight. I doubt I'll do anything with this one, honestly. I like Gibson. I think he probably gets it done. But I can't be confident in any capacity with this one.
No.
All right, we'll move on. Our next fight is a featherweight bout between Zhang Yang Li and Haider Emil. Li, pretty solid, well-rounded guy. He's got good striking, his grappling, pretty solid. His takedown defense is good. Haider Emil, undefeated, knocked out Fernie Garcia in his debut. He definitely gets himself into some trouble in most of his fights, but somehow finds a way out of it. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is kind of one of the more interesting fights on the card. Zhang Yang Li, I mean, he looks like he's got all the goods. He's got decent striking. I mean, good grappling. But just to me, I think it's real low volume, real plotting, real opportunistic. He waits to hurt somebody and then swarm in. He just sits back and kind of lets, And Haider Emil here, I mean, this guy is kind of like a mini tank. He's gonna continue to walk forward, throw bombs. He's got good wrestling here. This is kind of a close fight to me. I mean, I think this can go either way. I could see Haider starching him, to be honest, just with the forward pressure and catching him. But I mean, Lee is a good counter striker, and I mean he's fast. This is an interesting one. But I'm going to go with Haider Emil here to have the more volume, the more pressure, mixing in some takedowns, and just consistently walking forward and putting the pressure on.
Yeah, I can see that. I was tempted to go with Emil here, but I like Lee. I think his striking is clean enough to where he can catch Emil with something. His grappling is really good. His scrambling is good. I can see this fight being very competitive, very back and forth. I can see both guys hurting each other. But yeah, I mean, Emil he gets himself in trouble in almost every fight, and so far,
because he's a maniac. All he does, he walks forward, he throws bombs.
So far it's worked out for him. He hasn't lost. He's dangerous. We saw the killer instinct in the Garcia fight. Garcia is a weight class below, was coming in on short notice, but he did what he had to do there. He just kept the pressure on, broke him, wore him out, and then finished him. So I like Emil. I do think he's good. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think Lee is just going to be too fast and too technical, and I think he could catch him with something. And when he does get him in trouble, I think he could probably put him away. But again, it's tough to say if he's Emil he doesn't go away. So I think this fight could definitely go long, even if he gets hurt.
He could recover. I mean, he's got good cardio.
Yeah.
Forward pressure.
I'm leaning Lee here.
He's like plus 170.
Yeah, there's definitely value there. Lee's price is a little bit tough to swallow. But yeah, I think Lee gets it. I think Lee gets it done. So if I don't know. I'm not sure how I want to bet it. I'm not sure if I would put him in a parlay or not, but I do think Lee gets the job done here.
Yeah, it's a meal money line and then a sprinkle on the 2-3 KO.
All right, our next fight is in the featherweight division. We have Duho Choi taking on Bill Algeo. Choi, he looked like the real deal 6-7 years ago when he was coming up. He was knocking dudes out. He had that Cub Swanson fight, and then ever since then, a lot has changed for him. He's taken time off for military service. Just hasn't looked like the same guy since. And then Bill Algeo, he's just a wild man in there. He's going to put up volume. He's pretty well rounded. He definitely leaves openings, but always a fun fighter to watch. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Choi, he hasn't really looked the same since he's went on that little military run when he went on that military service and he's come back. But he's got the tools. He's got good striking. He's got, this is a tough one for me because I can't trust Bill Algeo. This guy is just a fucking flake. He's got skills everywhere, but he's just like when you think you can count on him, he always just gets clipped on that chin, man. And it's just, I question the durability of him. It's just, he has the skills to be a good fighter. It's just like, he just makes mistakes in there, and he's. I don't know if I could trust him, but I don't trust Choi either. So this is another tough one for me. I guess I'm going to lean Algeo. Maybe if it's about minus 160 right now on the money line, but yeah, maybe an Algeo in over 1.5. But yeah, I'm gonna lean Algeo gets the job done here, but really no confidence. He's too flaky for me. He's burned me before. Got starched by Kyle Nelson.
That last fight was tough.
That one was brutal, bro. You get starched by Kyle Nelson, bro. That's a bad look. Even though, to be fair, Kyle Nelson has looked better in his recent little run he's gone on, but to get starched by that guy, oh man. And Choi, he's fast. And he throws with some good power. He's skilled, but I don't know. I got to think on this one more to see where I'm at. But yeah, this one I don't have a confident pick here. Lean, maybe Algeo, but by Saturday I could change my mind and be on Choi.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think the Algeo's activity and just the way he looks in the fight can win some scorecards. But early in the fight, especially, I do think Choi is live. The dude, historically, the guy's got knockouts. That's kind of what he did for a while. So I could definitely see him landing something early. But even in that Kyle Nelson fight with Choi, like, it became somewhat competitive. That ended up, I think, was that a draw?
It was a draw. Yeah, it was a draw. Yeah. He drawed so they have a similar opponent in their last fight. Choi drew with Kyle Nelson, and Algeo got starched.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, we can't do MMA math here, but
yeah,
it says something for Choi at least. But I don't know. It's tough. This is another one that. I don't know if I'll have a strong opinion either way. Come Saturday, this may be a pass for me. As of right now, Algeo's the pick to win, but there's not a lot of confidence in that one. All right, our next fight. This one should be fun. We have a flyweight bout between Cody Durden and Bruno Silva. both guys, all action. Both guys, good wrestlers. Throw hands. They're willing to scrap. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is actually the only fight that I have like some semi interest in that I want to see. It's gonna be an interesting one. Cody Durden, I mean, the wrestler, he's gonna want to get those takedowns. Good grappling, decent striking. I don't want to say it's the best, probably not. Um, yeah, he's coming off a submission loss to Tagir Ulanbekov. Where Tagir was able to just sub him out. Rear naked choke, I think it was. Yeah, rear
Yeah.
naked choke them. Yeah, I have some question marks about Durden's grappling defense, mission defense. Yeah, Bruno Silva, not I mean, he hasn't really. I mean, his activity hasn't been very good at all. But when he does get in there lately, I mean, he looked phenomenal in his last couple of fights. He's looked good.
Yeah.
These two guys, I guess they were training partners. So,
Yep.
I guess Durden didn't really want this fight, and Silva kind of said, "Yeah, give me this fight." So maybe, there's an edge there. Who knows? That could mean absolutely nothing.
Right.
But yeah, this is an interesting one. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Silva here to get the win here to be able to. Yeah, I think he has more finishing upside here. I think he's got power on the feet. He's got good striking. I think he's got good grappling. I think he's good everywhere. I think he can possibly submit him or knock out Cody Durden. Yeah, this is Silva for me all the way.
Yeah, me too. And I'm honestly, this is one of my more confident picks because the way I see it is Durden, when he loses, it's generally by club and sub. He gets caught, he gets dropped, and then somebody jumps on him, with good grappling and submits him. That's kind of what Bruno Silva does. He throws bombs. He drops guys. We saw it in his last fight. Dropped Tyson Lamb.
Yep.
I believe he dropped him and submitted him.
Yeah, he did. Rear naked.
Yeah.
Rear naked. Yeah.
So he's got the power. And in terms of grappling, like Ulanbekov, like he fought Ulanbekov 3 or 4 fights ago, and it was 5-4 on takedowns. So the grappling's there. So to me, Bruno Silva has all the skills. The power's there. I think Durden, he's been clipped before. He can be clipped again. Yeah, I think Silva catches him with something big and probably puts him away. I don't see this one going to the scorecards. I think we're going to get a finish in this one.
But don't you think a lot of the finishing equity is always on the Silva side rather than Durden? Don't you see Durden has the victory, getting takedowns and getting top control? I don't see Cody Durden as a big finisher.
Yeah, I could see. So if Durden won, he probably would win by decision. You're right. It's probably more Silva. But I don't know, man. After I broke this one down, I just felt like Silva's going to drop him.
And, Silva's the side for me.
Yeah. And like, even if they get into the grappling, it's like, I mean, Silva's grappling is really good. He trained with Cejudo for years. So, yeah, I just think he's got the edge everywhere.
Trains with Pantoja. They both trained with Pantoja. So,
they trained with each other. One guy said, no, we're training partners, or we were. The other guy took the fight right away, and that was Silva. So, maybe there is something to that. Maybe not, but I do think that's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, only those guys know how it went on the map.
Exactly.
How those, So.
And we'll find out on Saturday. But I feel pretty good about Silva. I think the power and the grappling, it should be on his side.
Yeah.
All right, our next fight is In the lightweight division, we have Kurt Holloway taking on Kanan Krzyzewski. Tough last name to say, but I think I got it pretty close. I'm always partial to Holloway. He's a Team Jakau jiu-jitsu guy, so I'm always rooting for him. But yeah, this one's interesting. Krzyzewski, I mean, he looks all right. He's got solid stand up. He looks kind of stiff on the feet, but he's pretty well rounded. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, interesting one. I mean, not really interesting, but just like, I guess Krzyzewski, on the tape, looks all right. He looks like he's, but then he comes out in his last fight and just gets smoked by Elvis Brenner. It was on short notice, though, if I think I'm correct. So
It was a crazy knockout.
yeah, it was a vicious knockout. So who knows how he's going to recover from that? But he did take some time off. Yeah, coming into that fight, I was actually kind of high on him going in there. I think I might have bet him in that fight.
I think I did too, because watching it back, I think I remember the disappointment when he clipped him behind the ear. I was just like, no way.
Yeah, I think I might have been on him in his first fight. So I don't know. I guess we haven't seen much from him at the UFC level, so I guess he could. I don't know really. And then Holloway, kind of just one of those middle of the road guys, just coming in. He's got good submissions. Decent grappling, but on the feet, there's a lot to be desired. I don't know here, man. This one is another tough one for me. I'm gonna lean Krzyzewski to probably get a decision, but if Holloway submitted him, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it's probably Kanan here, but no confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Holloway here. First of all, like I said, he's Team Jakau, so
hometown pit kid.
I'm always I gotta favor guys like that. But I think on the feet, Holloway striking's not great, but he's not afraid to mix it up. Even in that Trey Ogden fight, when it was on the feet, it seemed like he had the advantage. He landed some decent shots on Ogden, but Ogden took him down. His takedown defense isn't very good because his jiu-jitsu is still good. He's not afraid to go to the mat with people, but Ogden was just way too strong and just too powerful to get any jiu-jitsu off on. I don't know if Krzyzewski has that kind of strength on the ground. I mean, he's got some submissions on his record. He does seem like he's got solid grappling. But I think if it comes down to it, if it's relatively close, scrambling, I could see Holloway catching him with something. I haven't seen enough from Krzyzewski to be confident in him at all. So I'll take the shot on the dog. I'll take Holloway here, and a little bit with my heart, a little bit with my head. I think it's close enough. But yeah, Kurt Holloway is the pick for me.
Yeah, and I think he's been training at the Fighting Nerds too, which is a gym that's been on fire.
That's not a bad place to train. So that's
yeah.
But again, I don't think I'll do much with this fight. I'll just kind of root as a fan. But yeah, I do think Holloway can get it done. All right, our next fight is what I think should be the co-main event. We have Steve Garcia taking on Sungwoo Choi in a featherweight bout. Both guys have some power. Both guys' chins can be questioned. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think this is going to be two guys pretty much standing in the pocket. Whoever falls first. I mean Garcia. He can be good. We've seen him. He's seen him get hurt early and then come back and win fights. And You know, he's got good striking, decent wrestling, good power, but that the chin and durability is kind of a question mark here. But if he doesn't get chin, he's usually the one doing the chinning. You know,
Dude's got
um,
the power.
he's got a lot of power in his hands. And you know, Troy is I don't know what to make of Troy. I mean, I'm not too sure what to make of him. I mean, he's got good striking. It's just I mean I just haven't seen enough from him. You know, he came out, he got a win out in his last fight. You know, against Jarno Aarons, which is I mean nothing to really ride home about. You know, yeah, I think Garcia eventually finds the button, probably in one or two. It's probably this is Garcia for me all the way. Garcia knockout. I just haven't seen enough. I mean, like Troy is just not really a consistent fighter. I can't trust him. You know what I mean? And not saying that I could trust Garcia either, but I mean, this is. I'm gonna lean Garcia catches him, but I think this could honestly go either way. I think these guys are gonna stand there and trade, and whoever gets clipped first is gonna go down. But I'm gonna lean with Garcia having the better striking and the more power in his hands to be able to put him away.
Yeah, so I'm kind of on like, I mean, both guys could easily just get knocked out in the first round, no doubt. But Choi's been knocked down 5 times in the last 3 fights. So for me, that's an auto fade.
Yeah,
I can't bet on a guy that's been knocked down that many times. I know Garcia's been dropped, he's been wobbled, but for the most part, he's been knocked out 1 time in his career. He does tend to find a way to survive. So with his power against a guy that's been dropped 5 times in 3 fights, I'll take Garcia all day, every day.
yeah,
And then I'll let the chips fall where they lie.
yeah.
All right. This brings us to our co-main event, which is hilarious. We've had probably the 2 worst back-to-back co-main events in the last 2 cards that we've ever had. We've got Brad Tavares taking on Jung Young Park. Tavares, he's been around. He's fought the best of the best. But yeah, I think he's kind of on the downward part of his career. Jung Young Park, pretty tough, pretty durable. You know, he's hit or miss sometimes, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm a big Jun Young Park guy. I think this guy is. I think he's skilled. I think he's good everywhere. I mean, I think he's got good striking, decent power, good wrestling, good submission game. Um, yeah, I like Park. I mean, his last fight, he lost a split. I thought he probably won the fight, but you know how the judges are. I thought he won, but maybe because I had money on him, that's why I thought he won. But
Yeah, sometimes that
um,
happens.
yeah, but yeah, and Tavares. I mean, Tavares, man, I question the durability now. I mean, he's got good takedown defense. His striking and his output isn't really all there. I mean, I guess he can crack. I mean, but it's just I don't know, man. This guy might just be done. He might be cooked. It might be at the end of the road, man. For Brad Tavares, he's been in a lot of fights, taking a lot of damage. I'm gonna think Park here is able to just to be able to win this one, man. Just I could see him subbing him if he can get him down. But I mean, Tavares does have
Yeah,
really good takedown defense. But I don't know. I think if Park gets him down, I think Park can sub him.
yeah, I
But
can see
yeah,
that.
this is Park for me. Park all the way. I think Tavares is just over the hill. I think he's probably done. And I like Park. He's looked good. He was on a nice win streak before he lost a split in his last fight. I think he gets back on track here and gets the win.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tavares, he's been finished in 2 of the last 3 fights, and the one fight that he didn't get finished in was the Chris Weidman fight, where he had Weidman dead to rights, and he still didn't put him away. So it just doesn't seem like he's really in a good spot here in his career. I like Park. I think he's durable. I'm not afraid of Tavares catching him with something. I mean, anything can happen in an MMA fight. But durability wise, Park's very durable, and Tavares just doesn't really finish fights. So
Uh,
I'm not so worried about a finish. And then the volume, I'm not afraid of the volume with Tavares. He's not a very high volume guy. And yeah, I think Park, if he does land a takedown or two, he could do some damage on the ground and he could find his way to a submission. So yeah, I like Park here. I think he gets it done just on the money line alone. He's fine, but I do think there's a shot that he could finish this fight. But
Yep.
I like Park. Tavares at this point in his career, I just don't think he's got much to offer.
Iron Turtle season, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, that brings us to our main event. Got a 5-round women's strawweight bout between Amanda Lemos and Verna Jandiroba. I have gone back and forth on this one. Jandiroba, very strong wrestling, not a ton of volume. Lemos, good power, explosive. Cardio, maybe questionable. But really, she's lost to some high-level women in this division. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is like the definition of the style clash here, pretty much. I mean, you got Verna, who on the feet is a lot to be desired on the feet. Not good striking defense, not good striking technique, but I mean, she really doesn't need it because she's taking these girls down and just like grapple fucking them, just getting on top, making it dirty, threatening submissions. Just going to work and wrestling. Maybe a little cardio concern when it gets later into the fight, but I mean, she should get takedowns here pretty easy here. I mean, Lemos is going to have her on the feet every which way possible if it's on the feet. It's going to be Lemos all day. She's going to be styling on her, piecing her up. It's not even going to be close on the feet. But my problem with Lemos is she can't stop the takedown. It's like, Augusta Wing can take her down. You know what I mean? And Verna should have no problem getting takedowns early here. It's whether the cardio holds up late. I could see, this is a real tough one for me. I went back and forth pretty much all week. Initially, I thought, okay, Lemos probably knocks her out. And then I'm like, okay, Verna can sub her. Now, ultimately landed on, I don't even know. I'm going to think Verna. I think Verna probably takes her down and can find a submission. I think that's going to be, I want to see what the submission props in 2, 3, 4 are for Verna. That's going to be interesting to me. And maybe a Lemos KO 2, 3, 4 might be interesting if it's a good enough price. Maybe an under could be sneaky here. But I'm going to pick Verna to probably get a sub here.
Yeah, we're going to be on the opposite ends here.
Lemos on her back is like, she's like a fish out of water. And I think Verna's top control and her submission grappling, I think she can be able to catch her in something, like maybe a head and arm.
Yeah, I can see it for sure. I mean, like I said, I've been back and forth on this one all week. I just feel like Verna doesn't do enough damage. And over the course of 5 rounds, like, she really is going to have to land takedowns, and she's going to have all the control, because I think when it is on the feet, Lemos is going to land big shots. Lemos has power. We saw her. I mean, she got pretty well dominated by Wei Li, but she was able to survive. I didn't think she'd be able to survive 5 rounds with Wei Li, but she did. So, it's a pretty good learning experience. The power is there. It's on her side. I think the volume will be on her side. And while, I question Lemos' cardio a little bit, I also do question Berna's as well. And she is going to be desperate for takedowns. So as the fight gets late, if she's tired and she can't get takedowns, I think she's going to be in some trouble.
And also, I think this could be a good live betting spot where Berna's grapple fucking her for the first 2 rounds. Then you can get a fucking fat price on Lemos, Yeah, this was a real tough one for me. I went back and forth all week. My mind can still change by Saturday. I haven't locked anything in yet. But as of now, I think I'm leaning Berna by sub. But yeah, I mean, I think I could see this fight going either way. I could see this fight being like, well, damn, Berna was a gift. Like, it was too easy. And I could see it where it's like, damn, Lemos fucking starched her.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's a fucking, this is a tough fight. I mean.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. It's a good one. I mean, to me, I think the damage is what's going to prevail over the course of 5 rounds. But if she does just take her down and just drown her, she can win the rounds that way. So, yeah, it's close. I think. I honestly, I do think it might be whoever's cardio holds up the best. Whoever's implementing their game plan late in this fight.
Yeah, because if Berna's cardio holds up, you think she's chaining takedowns. And I don't know if Berna gets her down, I don't know if Lemos can get up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a close one.
I don't know.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, the chances of it ending early, I don't think are very high. I know Lemos does have the power, and that would be a path for her. But, Berna's never been stopped. So I think it's going to go long. So either way, however you like it, I think, even if you're looking at over 2.5, over 3.5 type, same game parlay stuff, I think that's maybe a way to get a price. But also live betting. I think live betting is going to be huge for this fight. But yeah, it's going to be close.
Because you think if Berna grounds her in round 1 for 5 minutes, what do you think her number is going to be? She's going to be like minus 300 plus 250, minus 200, minus 3.
Yeah,
minus
she's probably going to. I don't think she'll be more than 200. I don't think they're going to jump it like crazy, but I think it will definitely move a decent amount. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to watch. But yeah, I mean, I'm not overly confident. It's tough to be confident in this one, but it's going to be close, and it should be a fun main event at least. Nothing else. All right, let's. So that's it. That's the breakdown. Let's take a look at what we have going on.
Got Jake Paul, Mike Perry too this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. We've got starting tomorrow night. We've got the NASCAR trucks. That's going at 8:30. We'll be live. That'll be a public show. That'll be on YouTube, and then that'll be followed by Take It to the Bank, which is obviously Keg and Coop breaking down the whole NASCAR.
Not here this weekend.
Oh,
Coop's not here, so it's probably just Keg or maybe Meyer. I don't know.
Maybe Keg and maybe Meyer. All right. So that'll follow the truck race, and then Saturday we've got the Xfinity race that starts at 3:30. So that'll be on Patreon, and that'll lead us right into the UFC, the boxing. All of that will be on Patreon. And then Sunday, starting at 3:30, we'll be live on YouTube, public show for the Brickyard 400, where if you know this channel, a lot of money is typically made. So tune in. It'll be a busy weekend. We'll have a lot of fun. Hit the like button. Join the Discord. All that good stuff. Johnny, any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that boxing match?
Oh man, Jake Paul, Mike Perry. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I want to see Jake Paul get knocked out, but he probably wins.
Yeah, I was thinking about just throwing a little something on Perry, just
to have some
something to
shekels on
have.
it. Yeah, because I could see him. I could see him making it tough on Jake. He's definitely going to have the speed. He's going to be coming forward. He's a maniac. He can take a punch. He's going to be throwing. I think he can make it interesting.
Yeah, he'll be willing to fight late into the fight. I feel like a lot of guys haven't done that yet with Jake Paul, so we'll see. It'll be fun, but yeah, that'll. I might sprinkle a little something on Perry just for fun.
Yeah.
But all right, that'll do it for us. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, hit that like button, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow night. And good luck this weekend.
See you tomorrow. Lock and load. Let's go.